Men pull away for many different reasons. They may stop texting, stop calling, they may even stop arranging dates and kind of act, well, as if you don't exist. Now, this makes us ladies feel confused. We end up feeling worried and we over-exaggerate our last actions with him to find out what we did wrong to see if we can fix it. Now, here is the mind-blowing fact. Men ignore women for a whole range of reasons. Not just because they are falling out of love or that they're not interested. It can simply be that they are just too into their hobby or career. So, let's dive into the behaviour of a man who is ignoring you so you can figure out your next steps. Here we go, like and subscribe. He doesn't like you that much. This is better known as you are not his main priority girl. He might text you every now and then and you guys have a fun back and forth conversation. Maybe you spend the whole weekend together, but come Monday morning, he seems to vanish from the earth. And it's simple really. He likes you, but he doesn't like you enough to want to see you regularly or even communicate to you on the regular. Now, this is a huge bucket of mixed messages because he wants his cake and he wants to eat it too. He wants girlfriend benefits, but without labeling it as a relationship or showing up as your boyfriend because, well, he values his freedom or another person more than his time with you. He isn't a text type of guy. They do exist. Some people hate texting for a wide variety of reasons, and you might not understand it, and you simply just have to respect that. Personally, I hate voice calls and prefer texting. After recording videos all day, the last thing that I want to do is hear my voice over and over. So if your man has specifically told you he isn't a big texter, and his actions prove this, such as his texts are short, but he always calls you. Now, if you have his name in your call history, great, he is being honest. But if, however, your call history looks dry, and so does your messaging inbox, it's a sign he's just not interested in you. He has some self-issues. Now, we can call these self-issues anxieties, perhaps even lack of self-esteem, or even a lack of confidence. He may on the exterior look confident and be very sure of himself, but on the inside, it tells another story. If you know he has a busy week at work, maybe he's had a professional telling off, this will hit his self-esteem and he may go into self-destruct mode. This could be where he turns off his phone and binges video games until he feels confident again. If you know this guy well enough to understand that this is his self-esteem cycle, then let it go. It doesn't matter that you think he should still talk to you regardless of having a bad day. If he's not worked through his emotional regulation skills, he won't be able to feel awful about himself and then show up for you too. The silent treatment. This is the topic you did not want to hear, right? Maybe you guys had a disagreement, or maybe you did or said something that offended or upset him or someone close by. If this is the case, he will need a couple of days of silence to get his thoughts together before he can resurface and talk to you again. If you know for sure that this is the reason for his absence, then please don't bombard him with calls and messages. Don't send any cute messages if you are in the wrong. A simple, I'm sorry for this, and acknowledge what happened, speak to you soon. It's a respectful apology. It lets him know you've owned up to your wrongdoings, and then when he has processed that hurt, he can return again. And yes, ignoring your date or your long-term girlfriend is not green flag behaviour. Using silence to punish someone is very rude and something you should bring up with him at a later date. However, let him have his space to mull over that emotional damage. A day or two is fine. He wants to break up. And again, I'm sorry, but it's another topic that you really don't want to hear. This could be his method of pulling away, creating so much space mentally and physically because he doesn't want that relationship anymore. He may be certain that he wants to break up, so he's waiting for the right way to tell you, or maybe he isn't even aware of these feelings and he just needs this space to figure it out. Feeling his single life freedom. This is actually something the immature, inexperienced guys will do. He will ignore you so that he can pretend he is single, which sounds daft, doesn't it? This doesn't mean that he's being unfaithful with you. He simply wants to preview waking up, spending the day, going to sleep without having to check on his better half. If this resonates, the best thing you can do is let him have this space. Don't reach out, get on with your life. If he frets that you are losing interest, he will come running back. And yes, if you start to think, wow, this distance works well for me, then that's a sign you need to end things. You're not playing games, you're literally taking the space he is giving you, and you are enjoying it. And if you happen to enjoy it too much, well then that's his fault for walking away. Maybe you are too needy. If he literally needs some breathing space because you are a little bit too much, then rethink your actions. He may not be used to being close with someone, so he finds you needy. Or maybe you guys have spent the whole week together and he just needs the weekend to breathe. Not to cheat or do anything wrong, just to have a clear head again because you were constantly surrounding him with your loveliness. Now, a man will pull away without being conscious of these actions. He might not recognize himself that you are being a little bit over the top with your affection. It becomes his automatic response to feeling, let's say, a little bit suffocated. And when he subconsciously senses that his freedom space is closing in, he will start to withdraw. To keep it casual. This is such a common action of men that don't want a full relationship. Instead of saying, I don't want anything serious, they will act it out and hope that you just pick up on it. So he will start hanging out with you as a partner. You may do cute things together, but when he feels that you guys are getting just a little bit too close for his liking, that is when he pulls away. Life gets in the way. It happens, we get stressed with projects, family commitments, literally anything, and then we aren't as close to our partners. He might not realise how his actions are coming across, so he could be preoccupied with something, and it might be worthwhile you just giving him a quick nudge and letting him know that he's being a little bit distant. There is someone else. Sadly, someone else may be taking the centre stage and all of his attention. It could even be a fantasy relationship, someone he's not physically met up with, or a real relationship. It's all going to her. If he pulls further and further away and then starts to ask you why you are being crazy for not giving him space, it could be a sign that he's trying to disguise his actions. He is stressed. Guys respond very different to stress. Some go into self-destruct mode, which could be smoking, drinking, recreational stuff. Some revert to extreme self-isolation and don't leave the house and turn their phone off. He could be falling into a state of depression without being aware that this is happening. Now, of course, it's his responsibility to reach out for support when he needs it, and you are there to be his support when you guys are official. However, if you are just at the very early stages of dating, you won't be his priority in this time if he's stressed. Instead of going to you, he's going to turn to his family or close friends. And then when you are in that inner circle, things will be different. But you need to take into consideration that guys, they don't have the emotional support that us ladies have. He may not know what to do when he feels stressed, and that's when he adopts unhealthy behaviours. He may need to learn how to treat himself better, and sometimes for guys that means they have to go to therapy because they are less likely to want to pick up a book or watch self-help videos. And there we have it, 11 reasons of why a man ignores you. I really hope, ladies, that you found the answers that you were looking for.